In March 2025, BYD shook the EV industry. They unveiled a revolutionary EV platform and charging technology, promising 250 miles of range in 5 minutes. This addressed range anxiety, a major EV adoption hurdle. BYD's Super E platform debuted in the Han L sedan and Tang L SUV. This move solidified BYD's global EV leadership. BYD's audacious announcement wasn't just a technological feat, it was backed by solid financial performance. The company had witnessed a meteoric rise, surpassing even Tesla in some aspects. In 2024, BYD reported $107 billion in sales, a 29% increase year over year. Their sales were 9.5% higher than Tesla's. Investors drove their share price up over 40% in 2025. BYD's success wasn't limited to the stock market. The company was selling roughly the same number of EVs as Tesla globally. However, EVs represented only half of BYD's total vehicle sales. The company also held a strong position in the hybrid vehicle market. BYD's financial strength wasn't merely a result of favorable market conditions. The company had made strategic decisions that positioned it for success. Their early adoption of lithium iron phosphate batteries gave them a competitive edge. Combined with aggressive market expansion, BYD is now at the forefront of the global automotive industry. BYD's rise to prominence wasn't a stroke of luck. It was the result of a long-standing commitment to innovation and a relentless pursuit of technological advancement. The company had transitioned from being perceived as a low-cost EV maker to a true innovator in the automotive industry. Central to BYD's success was its in-house development of key technologies. The company had invested heavily in research and development, focusing on creating proprietary solutions for batteries, EV platforms, and even driver assistance systems. This vertical integration strategy gave BYD greater control over its supply chain and enabled it to bring products to market faster. BYD's commitment to innovation was evident in its decision to cease production of all internal combustion engine vehicles. This bold move in 2022 demonstrated the company's unwavering belief in the future of electric mobility. Furthermore, BYD had managed to reduce its EV production costs to the point where they were lower than those of equivalent gas-powered cars. This focus on affordability, coupled with their technological advancements, had positioned BYD as a formidable force in the EV market. They were no longer just competing on price, they were offering innovative, high-quality EVs that could rival and in some cases surpass their global counterparts. At the heart of BYD's March 2025 announcement was a claim that seemed almost too good to be true: the ability to add 250 miles of range to an EV in just 5 minutes. This revolutionary charging technology had the potential to eliminate range anxiety, a major obstacle to EV adoption. The technology relied on a combination of advancements in both the vehicle and the charging infrastructure. On the vehicle side, BYD had developed new battery chemistry and thermal management systems that could handle the extremely high charging rates. These advancements were crucial to ensure the safety and longevity of the battery, even under such extreme charging conditions. On the infrastructure side, BYD announced plans to deploy 1,000 kilowatt-megawatt chargers in China. These chargers would be capable of delivering significantly faster charging speeds than the current industry standard of 350 kilowatts. The combination of these advancements in both the vehicle and the charging infrastructure was key to achieving the promised 5-minute charging time. While the technology was still in its early stages, it represented a significant leap forward in EV charging capabilities. If BYD could successfully bring this technology to market, it had the potential to reshape the entire EV industry. Addressing the skeptics. BYD's 5-minute charging announcement sparked excitement and skepticism. Experts questioned the feasibility and technical challenges of such high charging speeds. Concerns included battery life impact and heat management. Skeptics argued repeated fast charging could degrade batteries. Infrastructure availability was another major concern. BYD's success depends on overcoming these hurdles. Navigating the infrastructure challenge. BYD's vision of 5-minute charging relied heavily on the deployment of a robust and widespread charging infrastructure. The company's plan to install 4,000 megawatt chargers in China was ambitious, to say the least. However, the details surrounding the rollout, including the cost and timeline, remained unclear. Building out this infrastructure would require significant investment, not just from BYD, but potentially from governments and private companies as well. Furthermore, ensuring compatibility with EVs from other manufacturers would be crucial for the widespread adoption of this technology. Outside of China, the challenges were even greater. Different countries have varying grid capacities and regulations, which could complicate the deployment of BYD's megawatt chargers. Moreover, convincing international partners to invest in a charging network that primarily benefited BYD vehicles could prove difficult. BYD's success in delivering on its promise of ultra-fast charging hinged on its ability to overcome these infrastructure challenges. The company would need to work closely with governments, energy providers, and other stakeholders to create a charging network that was not only technologically advanced, but also accessible and convenient for EV owners. Business case for ultra-fast charging. While the technological advancements behind BYD's 5-minute charging were impressive, the business case for such ultra-fast charging remained uncertain. The high costs associated with developing and deploying the necessary technology and infrastructure raised questions about its economic viability. Initially, it was likely that ultra-fast charging would be offered as a premium feature, available only on higher-end BYD models. This would allow the company to recoup some of its investment and gauge consumer demand for the technology. However, for ultra-fast charging to become mainstream, the costs would need to come down significantly. Some analysts argued that slower, more affordable charging solutions were sufficient for most everyday driving needs. They suggested that ultra-fast charging might be best suited for specific use cases, such as long road trips where minimizing charging time was crucial. In these scenarios, drivers might be willing to pay a premium for the convenience of a quick charge. BYD would need to carefully consider the pricing and rollout strategy for its ultra-fast charging technology. Striking a balance between technological advancement, affordability, and market demand would be crucial for the successful commercialization of this game-changing innovation. Global ripples and competitive landscape. BYD's rise as a global EV powerhouse had sent ripples through the automotive industry. The company's technological innovations, particularly its push for ultra-fast charging, had intensified competition among automakers worldwide. Established players, including Tesla, were now facing a formidable challenger from China. BYD's aggressive pricing strategy in China had already sparked a price war, forcing competitors to lower their prices to remain competitive. This had resulted in consolidation within the Chinese EV market, with some smaller players struggling to survive. The pressure exerted by BYD and other Chinese EV makers was being felt globally. In the United States and Europe, policymakers were grappling with the rise of Chinese EV manufacturers. Some expressed concerns about potential job losses in the domestic auto industry and the national security implications of relying on Chinese companies for critical technologies like batteries. This had led to the imposition of tariffs on Chinese car imports, creating trade tensions between China and the West. Despite these challenges, BYD's success had served as a wake-up call for the global automotive industry. It highlighted the rapid pace of innovation in China and the need for established players to adapt quickly to the changing landscape of the EV market. The future of BYD's vision. BYD's relentless pursuit of innovation, as evidenced by its 5-minute charging technology, signaled a bold vision for the future of electric vehicles. The company's commitment to pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the EV space was reshaping the industry and accelerating the transition to electric mobility. BYD's focus on affordability, coupled with its technological advancements, had the potential to make EVs accessible to a wider range of consumers. The company's massive manufacturing capacity and its vertically integrated supply chain gave it a distinct advantage in a rapidly growing market. However, challenges remained. The successful implementation of ultra-fast charging infrastructure, both in China and globally, would be crucial for realizing BYD's vision. Additionally, navigating geopolitical tensions and addressing concerns about Chinese dominance in the EV market would require careful diplomacy and strategic partnerships. Despite these challenges, BYD's ambition and its track record of innovation positioned it as a leading force in shaping the future of the EV industry. The company's bold vision, if realized, had the potential to revolutionize transportation and accelerate the world's transition to a more sustainable future.